What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Hero Club podcast. You have your host, me and my co-founder of Hometown Heroes Sports Agency, Brett McPeters. And then today we are joined by Jaylen Garnett. Jaylen is actually one of our athletes at Hometown Heroes. Jaylen is from Louisville, Kentucky. He runs track at Georgetown College. He is a former indoor and outdoor all-conference champion. He holds the school record in the 100-meter dash. And like I said, he is a Hometown Heroes athlete. Jaylen, we're excited to have you on here today. Can you just take a quick second and just tell us a little bit kind of about you? Give us a little intro.
Yeah, like I said, I'm from Louisville. I have one sibling. I grew up like in the outer city of Louisville. It was very tough, really. And honestly, what truly like really drove me was my mom. Losing my mom at the early age, and so and now it's just more about just trying to make her proud for the most part, and just continue to go.
Yeah, that's super
It's
cool.
awesome, man.
We're excited to have you on here today. Excited to get to know more about you, more about your story, what you're doing, kind of what your dreams are. So,
Yeah, man.
We'll start with that.
Well, I got my first question. Why track? Like, what? Did you grow other sport or play other sports growing up, or was it kind
Well,
of track was always it, or like what made you really focus and hone in on track?
When I was with my mom at the time, I truly didn't play any organized sports. I just played in the street a lot.
Yeah.
Uh, Started living with my brother and his wife. They put me in track when I was about 10 years old. And I started doing like cross country at first, and then after that, I kind of built into it. And so, yeah, yeah.
That's awesome. What's your favorite to run?
Mm, I'll probably say the 400 meters now.
400.
I used to hate it, but I like it now.
Do you do the 4x4 or does it just like the solo 400?
4x4 too. Yeah.
Okay.
I used to tell
Nice.
people that I would cap out 100 yards. I played football, so we never had to run more than 100 yards. And that was my max. That was what I did. So, Jaylen, how much older is your brother than you?
16 years older than me.
Okay,
Nice.
super cool. So, and he was in Louisville when you moved in with him?
Mm-hmm. Him and his
Okay.
wife, actually,
Yeah,
turquoise garnet.
that's super cool, man. So they put you in track when you were 10 years old and you just ran it the rest of your life?
Yes. Well, let's see. I played football here and there when I was in high school and middle school. But then again, it was like I had to figure out what my passion was and what was going to get me to the next level very fast. And so track just so happened to be that, honestly.
Yeah.
What does the recruiting process look like in track?
You just have to really run the times for the most part, and also have good connections with people. And that's mainly it, really, just the times.
Yeah, because I know we've talked about it a bunch about the different sports we've kind of moved through on the podcast so far between like football and basketball and baseball. I think we've talked a little bit about the golf recruiting process too, but it's just it's starting to vary a lot. Like when people start to like you're allowed to like look at, because I know like golf, you're not allowed to contact anybody until you're like they're a junior in high school.
Yeah.
Is track similar like that, or is it kind of free for all, like whatever age?
Um, I'd probably say roughly like as far as high school goes, you're not allowed to really speak to anybody until like you turn 18.
Oh wow.
Um, yeah, and so like when you're in college, obviously it's obviously different. Now,
Mm.
when you transfer, same thing. Really, you got to wait until the season's over and then into the transfer portal and all that other stuff. So
Yeah. There's the Augusta
18
NCAA
basically.
just passed new rules for football and like
Yeah.
official visits and when you
about
can
that.
talk to people and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
That was nuts.
Same thing, right? It's junior year.
It's junior
Mhm.
year, but now you get unlimited official visits.
Whoa.
Yeah. So it's probably, if I had to guess, it's still like one per school. But like if you're a 5-star, it's got 20 offers. Like you can go on an official visit to all 20 offers if you want.
Not gonna be in school.
Ever.
Just gonna be traveling the country going to visits.
Yeah. Well, then you
Be
got
kind of fun.
schools like Texas who are dropping ridiculous amounts of money. I mean, did you see how much money they dropped on Arch Manning's visit? when he went out there?
I think it was in the millions.
It was something ridiculous. I don't remember the exact number, but I mean, it was on like a 48-hour visit, and it was like hundreds of thousands.
I'll look it up.
So, but I mean, I'm thinking about schools like that, and you got 5 stars coming to your place every weekend. Your recruiting budget is about to skyrocket.
Okay, it was not the millions. I don't know where I got that from, but it was like about 300K.
Yeah, it was like 274 or something like that, wasn't it?
I think it's 280,
Yeah,
which is still nuts.
yeah. I
I
mean,
don't know why I said millions. That
over
would be like
48 hours.
ridiculous. But
Over
well,
40.
speaking of football, real quick, while we're on the topic, anybody see the preseason top 10?
Wasn't Ohio State one?
Yeah, that's not even the surprising part, but Texas was number 5.
Yeah, you got Quinn coming back. Texas would be good this year.
Dude, 5 is generous.
5 is generous.
I think they had Penn State at 10. Georgia was 3, which is ridiculous. I mean, Bama above Georgia, that's just absolutely absurd.
They're
Jaylen, do you like college football?
I do. I like Kentucky. I'll be honest.
That's your team?
Yeah, I like Kentucky.
Dude, Kentucky's had a good run the past couple years. I think it was 2 years ago. They were good. They were like, I think they were ranked top. I'm trying to remember because I went to the Kentucky-Georgia game.
It's top 25.
Yeah. I almost want to say they were like pushing in on the top 10 because that was a big game when they came to Georgia.
Well, and yeah. And they held to like 16 points like this past season. That was the first time.
Yeah, it was like one of our lowest scoring games.
Jaylen, where you think Will Levis is going in the draft?
That'd be crazy if you go to the Colts.
At 4? I saw something. I think it was Draft Networks. Their latest mock draft has the who was it? It was somebody trading up to take him at 3.
Dude, that's wild. I'm sorry, man. I just don't see it.
Hey, I mean,
Really?
So are the top 4 picks going to be quarterbacks?
Well, literally nobody knows at this point. So
I was about to say, I don't know I feel like this is the most like I don't even know the word for it. There is a word for it, but like not confusing, but unpredictable draft. Like everybody's just on the edge of their seats, and it's like everybody thinks that they know what might happen, but there's no telling what's actually going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah. Everybody's saying Bryce Young canceled all his other visits with like every other NFL team. So everybody's 90% sure that he's going to the Panthers now 1. But then now there's also all the rumors that the Texans are not taking a quarterback. And so I don't know what's going to happen there. The Cardinals obviously don't need a quarterback, but then they have 3. So do you try to get some assets and trade back, or do you take the best defensive player on the board?
So do you see what else came about? Jalen Carter. He's only meeting with the teams from 5 through 10.
Yeah.
That's so specific.
That's a bold move. But I don't know. We'll see.
Hold on, I got this preseason top 10 pulled up.
So,
Penn State 10, Notre Dame 9, Clemson 8. That one's bold. I don't think Clemson's going to be that good. USC 7, Michigan 6, Texas 5, LSU 4. That was the kicker.
yeah, that is high for LSU. They are bringing back a lot of people, though.
Yeah, but yeah. Their quarterback will be good.
I'm about to say they're bringing back Jalen Daniels.
Yeah. Georgia 3, Bama 2, Ohio State 1.
Yeah, true. So, anyways,
Interesting.
yeah. Jaylen, on the football note, what made you decide to go to track over football if you played both of them?
I had like a couple of concussions, and then the last injury that I had was a cracked and rotated pelvis. So yeah.
Ow.
Sounds painful.
How did you do that?
It, I don't know. So there was this player. His name is Damon Lowe. He's now the defensive like coach for Trinity High School here. And I was a freshman at the time, and I had got moved up a little bit. And it was, like for us, it's like you kind of get moved up to be like a little practice dummy or something like that. I don't know. But we was doing kickoff, and um, I basically was trying to run into him, and that pretty much I got hit kind of both ways. I got hit by him from the side, and then somebody else came and knocked me.
Oh,
So he's basically like trying to block me. So yeah.
dude. Ow, did you have to get like surgery or anything for that?
Not necessarily. I pretty much had to get I had to go to the chiropractor really to get my hips and stuff realigned. It took a minute.
I was about to say,
Um,
dude, that does not sound like a quick recovery process.
Yeah. No. In high school, I played with George Pickens, plays up at the Pittsburgh Steelers now. But
Go dogs.
I was playing like the defensive line, like practice squad at the time, where I belonged versus George Pickens, where he belonged on the starting offense. And I like go around to do like a little stunt, and we're doing like an outside like pitch sweep or something like that. George is playing slot receiver, comes in, blindside blocks me, just like throws me to the ground, and I just like lay there and thought I had just died and gone to heaven for a second. Like I was miserable. Lost like every ounce of air in my body. It was tough.
He's a
But
scrappy dude, man.
yeah, it makes me feel better now that I can tell that story and he's like a starting NFL wide receiver. But you know, back at the time it was like, all right, you're a 5-star, but that's still embarrassing. No, that's funny. Well, that's cool. Jaylen, so you chose track, obviously talked about that. Tell us just kind of a little bit about your story. Like what drives you to be better.
like I said, growing up on Larkwood in the inner city of Louisville, Larkwood was probably the most deadliest streets in Louisville. And at the time, I truly didn't have a lot of friends. I was pretty much making things out of nothing to get better, or just at something, to keep my mind occupied. My mom, she couldn't really come outside that much because she was sick. She had kidney failure and heart failure, and so she couldn't really like watch me as much. So I wasn't really outside as much. I was mainly in the inside. And so I was just trying to make something out of nothing. And it was mainly that really, just coming up from nothing and just trying to make her proud, not only her proud, but my brother and his wife, and all of my family members too. So, and I'm gonna be honest, like, so let's see, in 2004, I lost my uncle. 2005, I lost my grandfather. In 2010, I lost my grandmother. In 2012, I lost my mom 5 days before my birthday. And I just remember like just coming back home after my mom had passed. I sat here in this living room, just sat there in silence. I was kind of in disbelief, and I was like, I don't know what to do. And so ever since that happened, whenever I'm in the blocks, people think I'm crazy when I say this, but I hear my mom speaking to me. And then when I'm coming around a curve, I see her at the finish line, and when I try to get to her in time, and then like to hug her. And by the time I get to her in time, like she vanishes, And so that's what makes me continue to go further and go faster, and put in the work, and just try to get to her. And I'm gonna be honest with you, like I still have her number on my phone, and sometimes it's like I be like I be trying to call her, like I know this may sound crazy, but I don't know, I just miss her so much. And so at the end of the day, I just try to remember the things that she taught me and continue to use those things and those lessons to help propel me forward. And that just in life, if somebody isn't propelling you forward, they're not really for you. And so I've feel like I have a good support cast behind me, and I just want to continue to go. So,
Yeah, that's
so I,
incredible, man.
so,
That's really cool, dude. That's a congratulations to you for just working harder and picking the right path, man, and succeeding. That's really cool. I know your mom's proud, man. That's awesome. That's really cool.
thank you.
Yeah, I know we've talked about it before, and I know that there were a lot of places that you could have gone, a lot of things that you could have done, but the way that you use that for motivation, I mean, you're stronger than I am. I can't confidently tell you that I'd be in the place that I am right now if I had gone through that same thing. So,
And like I ain't gonna lie, like I've when talking to him, I've cried a couple times. Um, I really talk. I cried a couple times. I remember that vividly. And then having you basically help me become a part of this agency, that was a blessing because at the end of the day, where I'm from, we don't really get to see any of these things, And like I said, it's all about the people that not what you know, it's who you know.
Yeah, man.
So yeah,
yeah. I mean, it's people like you that are the reason that we do what we do. It's the reason that we love what we do. It's the reason we wake up to do it every morning. So,
mm,
we appreciate you for joining us just as much as you appreciate us. So, thank
thank you.
you. Um,
It's
yeah,
awesome.
that's inspiring. So, that's your story. Everybody I talk to, they said find your why. That's your why. What do you do with that? What's your kind of training look like? What's your day as an athlete look like? Things like that.
So pretty much, I'm gonna be honest. I train Monday through Saturday. My training sessions pretty much last roughly about 2 hours. Well, obviously, I get up in the morning. I go lift. I get up around like 5 a.m. And then I'm in the gym roughly around 6 or 7, and I do that. Come back home, rest, and sorry about that. But after that, I go to the track. I warm up. It takes me roughly um about 30 minutes to warm up. But I just want to make sure that every bone in my body is pretty much loose. Everything, all that, every single thing. And so yeah, yeah.
What is a I know honestly nothing about track other than that you're running. So what does like a track practice look like? I mean, I know you run, but like do you and I'm sure there's a lot of different speed drills and footwork stuff and all that kind of stuff, but like if you consistently run the 400, like does most of your practice just you running the 400 or like do you focus on I'm sure a lot of it starts and all that kind of stuff too, but like what's like a typical track practice look like for you?
Um, Majority of that is pretty much speed endurance. So we'll probably have like a couple 300s, maybe some 150s, 200s, and like for me, for the most part, my coach he would time me from obviously the 200 to the 150 to see where I'm at the
Mhm.
one at 150 but 140 meters. Because usually 140 meters is where people tend to die at a little bit. So after that, anything past 7 seconds is considered speed endurance. And so because that's how fast your body can really like go far. So yeah, so mainly just 300s, 300 repeats, 200s, maybe some 250s, couple 100s. So it's kind of
Sick. Yeah, that's awesome. What do you run a 400 in? Just out of curiosity.
I'm gonna be honest with you, like so that would be a that would be a that would be a thing to see really. That'd be a thing to see really. People have always been asking me that really, and I just tell them you just got to see first. So,
All right.
so yeah,
So
I don't
you're
really
the
like.
school record holder for the 100. What's your time in that?
Now crazy thing about that, I was actually injured at the time. So the time
What?
was yeah,
You get
literally
hurt and then break the school record?
uh, roughly like 10.94, but I mean that's decently me being like injured. Now right now I don't know. I feel like I run a lot more faster than what I was before, and that was just honestly 2 years ago.
You think you'll ever
So
break 10?
oh, it's a good question. I don't know. It's just all about the training, trusting my coach.
I got you. What's like the world record for that? Any idea?
9.58.
He knew that off
That
the
point five.
bat.
Good gosh. I know. What was it? Matthew Bowling, the dude here at Georgia. I know he ran like a 9.96 or something like that. And that
Yeah,
was like a high school record or something when he did it.
yeah,
But
yeah.
9.5, dude, that's unreal.
So like my fastest time in high school was 10.7 and 22.2, and I got injured, and so like majority of my injuries were pretty much either a hip injury or ankles, and so these injuries kind of had me like held me back a little bit. And so like I reached out to Ronnie a couple times asking him what I can do. And I'm very like adamant when it comes to just my warm ups and or just my rehab exercises. Like I'm going on a consistent basis to keep my body in alignment. So like I'm not gonna be competing until December. So now I'm training my body until then.
Yeah.
Like so obviously people are in season, and I'm pretty much just training right now, and I'm still keeping my body where it needs to be.
Nice, man. Hip injury. Welcome to the club, brother. I've had the hip problems myself. What'd you do to your hip?
Me,
Yeah.
uh, yeah. So going back to that hip injury, I had basically had a cracked and rotated pelvis, and ever since then it was more
Oh,
like
that was the one we talked about. Yeah. That was
uh, yeah, my hips kind of like whenever I stand up, my hip kind of like gives out and I kind of drop a little bit. Um, and I don't know, it's like, man, I mean, I can't be getting that old, but I just got
dude, I
to.
feel you, man. When the reason I had to stop playing baseball, now like 2 years ago, I guess. Wow, that seems like a long time ago. But I tore my hip labrum, and it was because the top of my femur bone, like in my hip socket, like it grew with like a knot outside of it. And so like I was playing baseball in college, and so I mean the overuse of everyday practice for hours and lifting and running every day and all that kind of stuff, like it just like was grinding my hip labrum down.
Mhm.
And I was playing with a torn hip labrum for like a year, and it got to the point where the same thing was happening to me. Like it would take forever for me to get like loose or warm. Once I was going, I just couldn't stop because I had to stay in that like sweet spot. And as soon as I stopped, I would like sit down and like sit on the couch at home, and I'd stand up and my leg would just like give out. So I feel you in the hip world, brother. It sucks.
And so my major is exercise science, and I have a minor in psychology. So
Sweet.
like I'm really like taking the body very serious. And yeah.
That's awesome, dude.
What made you decide on those two, on that major and minor?
Hmm. I think as an athlete, personally, we we have a lot of things going on in our mind, especially going on throughout our daily lives. Things come up, and then that can actually like mess with our performances. And I feel like, in going back to my mom and everything, like I use imagery a lot, and so that's very big in the sports world using imagery, and I feel like that really can go together. And as far as exercise science, just knowing how the body works, and knowing what to do, and how it functions, and yeah.
I was an exercise science major for a little bit. I realized quickly that science wasn't my thing, but it's super interesting, man, because I know I took some different classes in turn. Like I took like a nutrition class, and so like that helped me realize a lot about. And that I was doing that when I was still an athlete as well, and it was like super intriguing to really know how the body works and how best to take care of it, and what the nutrition class, like the right things to take in and to make sure that your body's firing on all cylinders and stuff. So that's cool.
And that's literally what track is. It's science. That's all it is. Angles
Mhm.
matter, and angles matter. So
That's awesome. That's super cool.
Yeah, true. So that's how you train. That's what you do. How do you? I mean, I know you work as a personal trainer. You work with a lot of kind of. I know you're super passionate about the younger generation. Help them train. Tell us a little bit about that.
um, one thing with me being 24 years old now, I get I basically I connect with the younger generation very, very good. And sometimes it's best to hear from a different ear when speaking because they actually listen a lot more. And for me, like, and especially because of where I'm from, once again, and like a lot of people may not make it out or whatever, like I just try to help them like and push them to the next level. And sometimes people from different states they be reaching out to me for certain questions and stuff like that. I'll be giving questions. I'll be giving answers too. So for me, it's just seeing them do good for the most part and passing on knowledge that I was given and passing on to them. So yeah.
That's awesome. Do you, in the personal training side, do you focus mainly on track, or is that just like lifting and
Nah,
fitness and body health, mental health, all that?
I try to I follow. I do a lot of sports, honestly. It doesn't matter what it is. I mean, at the end of the day, majority of the sports kind of rely in track because you have to run,
Right.
and do, and so
Speed
yeah,
changes the game.
yep, yep.
It's awesome.
And like within that, towards the future, you know, whenever I get a chance to, I want to build a gym in inner city of Louisville, for kids to come in and you know, obviously train, but it will be mainly for people who truly want a second chance at doing what they want to do in life, and kids that can help build a brain within themselves early. Like for me, I was pretty much brought to the scene a little bit late, and so I kind of just learned a lot more afterwards. And so it's basically building a brand within themselves. So by the time they turn like 16, 17 years old, they get NIL deals and stuff like that, and learning
Mhm.
more sports world, and how it works, and seeing it from a business aspect. So yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, that's awesome. That's a great goal to have, man.
Girl. I
That's
know
really
that
cool.
one of your mentors was Ronnie Baker, Olympian. Um,
Mm.
and so really, I mean, now you're trying to give back and kind of be that mentor for younger kids now, and that's super cool to get to watch you do. So I enjoy going through and seeing you do it either on Instagram or talking to you about it or anything that looks like. But that's real neat. So I know you work with your cousin a lot. What
I do.
what does that look like for you? What does that mean to you to be able to get to do that?
It's really a blessing, and I'm gonna be honest with you. Like when I train with these kids, they actually train with me because I don't know if you ever watched The Last Dance when Michael Jordan was coming back from retirement and he was filming the movie Space Jam. At the time when he was filming the movie Space Jam, he had like rookies and stuff come to him, and like he would be filming a movie at like 6 a.m. and then going to like train with them. It's basically keeping his energy up, and so that's what I do. I train the younger generation to help keep my energy up, and help prepare me for my season and everything too. Because at the end of the day, when as you get older, your body kind of deteriorates. So
That's awesome, dude. That's so smart. Quick side note, Michael Jordan or LeBron?
LeBron, I'm gonna be honest,
Ah,
LeBron. And
I respect it.
I got the Lakers. I got the Lakers. Like they have a huge chance of actually winning the title, but it's more about just
You're taking the Lakers this year?
chemistry. Yeah, I'm a Laker fan.
Okay.
Laker fan. I seen you
I
got a Kobe.
I do have the Kobe. So that's man, Kobe's one of my inspirations. I love just everything about him. I saw a video of Chris Bosh talking last night about Kobe, and he was telling a story. I think think it was at like the Olympic Games maybe. But they were on the Olympic team, and Chris Bosh, he said was like, all right, I'm gonna wake up and be the first person to breakfast. Wakes up, goes to breakfast. It's like sun just rose. Walks into breakfast and he sees Kobe dripping sweat with ice packs on his knees because he
Yeah,
realized that not only did Kobe beat him to breakfast, but Kobe got a workout in before breakfast.
really, like when I was in high school, I would, like I said, I would wake up at roughly, 5 a.m. Now, the reason why I honestly wake up at roughly 4:30 is because that's the time that my mom had passed, and so I use that as motivation, So like I would go to the track literally before class, and after that I'll walk over to school and then just go in there, and then I already have my first workout in, and then by the time practice like starts again, I'm already ahead of certain people,
Yeah,
it's like years ahead of them. So, yeah.
that's awesome. That's
Yeah,
super cool.
that's how you get better. That's how you separate yourself.
And
Yeah.
even in college now, like after practice, I go straight to the rehab room, training room, and see like what I can get better at. It's literally the smallest things with me, the smallest things, and that's what majority of my coaches really teach me. The small things matter, So
That's right, man. It's like we were just talking about with make your bed, man. The little things make the difference because everybody can do the big things, but not everybody can focus and win on the little things. That's awesome.
In high school, we had a saying on our football team. It was called "small in." It's how you do the small things. It's how you do all things. So, and it sounds really cheesy, but I mean, it's true. It's how you live your life. Whether it's making your bed, whether it's cleaning your room, whether it's anything you do. If you do the small details right, and the big things fall in line.
That's right.
So, super cool, man. That's great to hear how you do things, how you train, how you help other people train, just kind of all that kind of stuff. I'll ask you this: what's your dream? I mean, you talked about you want to open up a gym, you run track. I mean, you do all these things, you study exercise science, but what's your dream? If you could do anything, what are you going to do?
honestly, the Olympics for the most part, be the first person, to obviously go. Now, crazy thing is though, like it would be crazy to really run with my cousin, and compete with him. Like that's a dream, you know.
How old's your cousin?
He's 18 now.
Nice.
He's ranked number one in the state right now for the 400 meters, and
Wow.
ranked in the 100. So
That's
yeah,
awesome.
yeah, yeah.
So you got an eye on a school? Where does he want to go?
I don't know. Like honestly, I don't know. Like that's pretty much up to him, really. We kind of focus on the now, mainly than the future.
Yeah.
Um, yeah,
Yeah, I know. He and I have talked a couple times, not about anything money wise, just kind of like making, seeing what he's
definitely.
doing, checking in. And it's cool to get to hear from him, see what he's doing. But I'm excited to see where he ends up going, what he ends up doing. So it'd be really cool if y'all got to run together. So
That, yeah, and like or compete against one another too, because um he's about to leave, obviously. So yeah, that would be
You
crazy.
versus him in the 400. Who's winning?
I'm gonna be honest, me,
Let's go.
me,
you went in the
You got
100
to
too?
bet on yourself, man.
yeah. And I'm gonna be honest, like I'm honestly versatile. I can do the 1, 2, 4, and then relays too. So like my coaches really trained me for those things. So it doesn't
Nice.
matter what. I feel like that's the difference between me and just really anybody for the most part. And when I'm at my best, like it's just I don't know, it's truly a blessing in disguise. So when I'm at my best, I ain't gonna say too much, but it's just a blessing.
Can you
That's
can
awesome.
you do the 800?
No,
Keep it short.
no, no.
I love
Nah.
it.
I never could either. I'd get to about that I'd hit that 400, finish that first lap, and I'd be like, "There's a whole another one of these things." Like,
Yeah, that
Yeah.
sucks.
it was half of it.
Think about
You're just like huffing and puffing. Yeah, but
It's awesome.
that's cool. So your dream's the Olympics. How do you help other people chase their dreams? Because I mean, I know back to you really pushing on the younger generation. How do you do that?
So what I do is like depending on the sport, I have them look up the top 25 schools in the nation, and I tell them to pick 12 of those schools that they truly want to go to, and then really comparing their GPA to theirs, and also looking at the past people that went there, studying them, and really like putting it on their wall, signing it and everything, because that's what I used to do, literally. So yeah.
Awesome, man.
But
That's
I'm
super
a big
cool.
believer in writing down your dreams. So you write it down, you visualize it. Not only do you visualize it, but you see it every day. You put it somewhere that you're gonna see.
You pretty much, you signed, a document to yourself, you know. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I have a tattoo on my arm, on my right bicep, and it's a mountain range, and it's got 5 stars above them. And those 5 stars are lifelong goals that I want to accomplish. And whenever I achieve those goals, I'll fill in the star. And so, on one hand, like, yeah, cool tattoo. On the other hand, though, it's like I see that every day, and every day I wake up, and it's like, all right, how am I working towards these stars? How am I working towards that goal? So,
I didn't know that, dude. That's awesome.
mm,
I got a tattoo on my left, I want to say, yeah, my left calf, and it says, "In all your ways submit to him, he shall make your path straight." Proverbs 3-6.
yeah,
So
that's super cool. Is that the only tattoo
Love
you
it.
have?
I got a little flash tattoo on my right ankle.
All right.
So I like. So.
Yeah.
Speedy.
That's once you get one tattoo, it's hard to only stop at one or to stop
Yeah.
at just one.
Sooner or later, like when the time comes, I'm gonna get a whole sleeve done. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, I have a lot of scars on my arms, so I'm just trying to get those covered up and start a new journey.
Yeah. I I can't do a sleeve because it would just look weird with all my freckles, but I wish. So I have 2 tattoos. I got the one on my bicep and then I got one on my chest. But
You might as well get a sleeve.
hey,
Sleeve.
maybe
Dude, that was really unexpected. I did not think that was gonna be your reason.
that's totally like it would mean something. Like I'm not gonna have a tattoo that doesn't mean anything to me.
Right.
But like I think sleeves are so cool. It would look so weird. I've thought about like trying to make it a cool like connect the dots game, but I still think I can pull it off.
Yeah, I've got like 4 or 5 tattoos that I'm gonna get that I'm super pumped about, but I gotta I'm not there yet. Soon. I gotta graduate college and get off my parents' payroll, and then I can get it.
There you go. Yeah. Nah. Yeah, I got the one on my arm and then I got one on my chest that me and my brother both have. So
Oh, that's
but
cute.
yeah, it's cool. So well, real cool. Um and so Jaylen, what
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I feel bullied.
Hey yo. All right. All right. All right. All right.
Yeah, calm down, Brett.
Whew.
It's real
That was
meaningful.
funny.
All right. It's a quote from it's a quote from Narnia with Aslan under it. It's pretty cool. It's cute.
That's sick.
Uh, it's manly.
Oh, dude, that's funny.
All right. Jaylen, what can we expect from you coming up this upcoming track season?
And I've had people ask me that day in and day out. Honestly, becoming 1% better each day. But to say the least, make it to nationals first. And then once I do that, then that's when everything will kind of fall into play.
All right. That's super cool, man. We
Still laughing.
That's always laughing at me.
Dude, well, I just
Yeah.
unexpected things hit me really, really good. I can't stop laughing when I hear something that makes me, I don't know. Ah, that was funny, dude. Jaylen, man, thank you for coming on, brother. That's it's been awesome to talk to you and hear about your story and your inspiration and you inspiring others and the younger generation. And congrats on all your success so far, man. It's really cool to see, and it's a it's an absolute pleasure to work with you, man.
So much.
You inspire us, and we're really grateful for you. And so,
Thank you. Thank you so much.
yes, sir.
Yeah. Well, that is all that we have for everybody today. If y'all have any questions, leave a comment, leave a like, subscribe, whatever channel you're on, and we'll look forward. We'll talk to y'all in 2 weeks. See you.